So like I said, they matter to me most as support and resistance areas. So if I'm trading in between the lines, the support and the resistance levels, I don't look at the L2 that much. Sometimes I'll glance at it just to spot the big buyers and sellers. But the most critical areas I'll be looking at on this example, FCEL, will be around the $2 area. Okay, candlestick is basically just a visual representation of the tape, right? The tape records all the transactions, the buying and selling on the uptick or downtick. The chart just shows you exactly what the tape is recording. L2 is the pending orders, the orders that haven't been filled yet. Yes, you could use it to see, the potential big sellers right here, 100K sellers at 220. But you don't know whether that's a real order or not, whether they intend on getting this filled or just using it as a way to scare the buyers, right? And same thing with the buying side. You can see we have 210 with 22K buyers, right? But you also don't know if that buyer is going to pull away later on when we actually dump. So the L2 can be deceiving. It tells you what could potentially happen. It's kind of like giving you like a peek into the future if you want to look at it that way, in the future of what possibly could happen. It doesn't guarantee that the orders on the L2 will fill. And just want to say, the market opening the first 1 minute is one of the most volatile times. It's almost impossible to understand anything on the tape, right? Because you're going to see all these orders going through. There's no way you can actually read all the numbers and all the buyers stacked on the bid and the selling. There's no way to read the tape. So the first minute, I'm almost always just looking at the candles. Because again, candles record the real transactions that's gone through on the tape. And the tape records the transactions that's gone through from the L2. Okay, so the first 5 seconds, we're already seeing 200K sellers at 206, another 200K at 206, right? We're still seeing some big buyers at 50K, 205, so we're seeing some bids stacking up. And again, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos on reading the L2. A lot of times, for me, what matters the most is the color blocks. I want to see a lot of bids stacking up, right? That means all these yellows, that means there's a lot of buyers at 205, and we're seeing some sellers stacked at 206. Now, we're seeing a candle right now. We're hanging around this 204. We're not dipping. We dipped beneath 203 for just a second, as you can see, but we're not really breaking beneath 203, because we have a lot of bids stacked right here. Now you can see we bounced up 203 really quickly, but we're met with a lot of selling around 209, 208, and 209, right? You see 40K sellers right here, backing up slowly. Now we're reclaiming the low $2, right? You can see we never broke beneath 203 or go to 202. As you can see earlier, now I'm not buying here because I see some people do this. I'm not buying around, I think there's like 204 because I see big buyers. Some people do that and that's fine. Big buyers at 40K buyer at 205. No, I'm buying it because I'm seeing a lot of bid prop earlier around 203, 204, 205 area. That area, I'm not gonna calculate to the cent. I just know this area there's a lot of potential support. If I add to full size, I'm okay risking $2 and a breakdown of $2 because of so much of the bid stacking up on the L2 that I saw earlier. To be good at math to trade, but you have to be visually able to process information visually really fast. You see a lot of bids stacking again, a lot of selling at 226. I think you're gonna see me start sending out an order to sell real soon at 230s, I believe, because a lot of selling around. You can see right here 46K sellers at 229, so we're gonna meet some resistance real soon around this 230s area. You can see 28,000 sellers right here, 230s. That's why you see me sell here, some partial size. Again, we are seeing a lot of bid stacking. Again, color blocks, guys, color blocks, not just the numbers. Another thing that I like to see is the speed in which transactions go through on the tape, right? The speed is it's a volatility essentially. I want to see volatility start to slow down. When it slows down, it could mean that we're gonna start turning the other side. We're still having a lot of orders going through, but it's kind of stalling, right? Stalling around this 240s area because of this big sellers. And when we start stalling, that tells me, if I'm trading small caps, that tells me that the shift in momentum is going to come possibly really soon. Because we're stalling here, we're not seeing the big buyings, all the buyers bidding it up really fast. We're not seeing that emotional buying.